So I'm back in the hot seat as the Giri cap rasped after Malaga didn't strike first, but they did strike hard, showing the opposition no mercy. As on Real Murcia, we went all Fred Durst on you. We were rolling. Take a look around at another Malaga win. And sorry for that little Limp Bizkit tidbit, but still can't believe Malaga delivered hit after hit. Not one, not two, not three, but four. 4-1 Malaga, an unbelievable score. So muchas gracias, Nuevo Condomina. But let's go back to our own Medina and take Sanluqueño to the cleaner. There's an injury crisis, so let's step up and be meaner. Get in the mind frame that the grass might be greener. Murillo, Lorenzo, Cordero could get the nod. Now we have to turn to the youth of the squad. And let's talk about their prospects on the GiriCast pod. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GiriCast on Sport Direct Radio. I am Matt Harrison, and you are listening to the GiriCast, the Malaga fan podcast for all you Giris out there. As always, I am joined by Nick Bell. How are you, Nick?
I'm very good. Rested and recuperated. I've had a week off Giri casting, so I'm glad to be back and happy to be here.
Excellent stuff. Alex Ashmore, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. As we're talking off air, slowly getting colder and colder in Madrid, but I feel like I can't complain given Nick is up in the north of England.
It was -5 this morning, so you can all bugger off.
Yeah. If I see 15, I go, ooh.
Well, I have remedied it by booking a little January trip to Malaga just to get some winter sun.
Nice
stuff. And finally, someone that's always enjoying the Malaga winter sun, or enjoying it at the moment, is Chris Marquez. Chris, how are you?
Doing very well. Tired of last week. Had to record a full podcast with Alex Ashmore.
Was it that bad?
So Alex and I are pretty much knackered of that.
Chris, our exploits got listened to by a Real Madrid TV employee, and he said he liked it a lot. And Matt, he likes your Vamos A episodes as well. He likes the whole podcast.
Jesus Christ! So they listen to me rap and be drunk.
So just to make sure, someone came to you and said, "Oh well, let's tell this Giants I pity with him and keep him motivated to continue what he's doing, and let's and I like the content they create." Nice.
Yeah.
To be fair, it has been an interesting week, and I never knew, Alex, that you were in Stuart Little when you were a kid. That picture your dad put up on Twitter. I didn't realise we were blessed with such a star.
That same kid in Jerry Maguire, which was, I think, Oscar nominated. So,
yeah, mad respect.
I wasn't in Stuart Little, but I was a Nivea model when I was a baby.
But
really?
Is he the mouse?
No, leave the Stuart Little joke. Was you a Nivea model?
I was. So my aunt used to work for the PR side of things at Nivea and got me a gig modelling as a baby.
Oh my God. You kept that quiet. I can't believe it's taken now. Alex was a model.
Why didn't your dad send those pictures? Why do we get a picture from us?
They used to be all up in the house. Like you go in the bathroom and there'd be just pictures of me as a baby holding Nivea products.
Well, they've cost you nothing, so you might as well use them.
Yeah.
That's
the money they used to send you to private school, Alex. That's what it is. That was an investment in your future.
I just love the idea of his auntie seeing baby Alex and going, "Tell you what, he's got some cracking skin. Yeah. Let's get him on this."
Imagine taking a shit in Alex's house and then you're looking at baby Alex on the wall while you're taking a shit.
Yeah. Speaking of things turning and being shit, let's go to the news. Let's start with perhaps the biggest headline of the week. There's a few things to talk about here. We perhaps usually dip the injury stuff in with the reviews and the previews, but I think it's quite a big one again. So I thought we should perhaps start with it. Nelson Monte picked up a knock in the game against Murcia. It turned out it wasn't just a knock. It was something quite serious. He is out for, well, at least until 2024. I've heard 2 months, 3 months mentioned. A massive blow, Nick Bell.
Huge loss. I think we can all agree that the centre-back position at Malaga is a cursed chalice at this moment in time. We never seem to be able to keep centre-backs fit, whether it's Juande, whether it's Andres Caro, whether it's whoever it may be. But Monte's come in and he's been flawless for the most part, and a leader and somebody way above the level that we're playing at the minute. So to lose him is big. I think we've managed to get by with other injuries so far, but he is the first major one for me that could be a change in fortune for us, and not for the better, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe when we get to sort of the preview section, we could talk about what the plan is for the next couple of months, sin Nelson Monte. But would you agree with what Nick said, Alex, that this is obviously we've had the big injury with Haitam and he was making an impact, but is this a bigger shock to the system, would you say?
In a way, yeah. I think we sort of seem to cope, feels like the wrong word, but do okay without Haitam, obviously, because he was injured before this second injury that he got, and we were doing quite well. I think Nelson Monte has been a really important part, if not the most important player in our team this season so far, and to lose him, trying to find a silver lining that Murillo gets to come in and play more games, but I would much rather him come in through opportunity rather than through injury. And obviously, he played against Murcia and played really well, but it feels like, sad circumstances for him to come in and start playing.
Yeah. And Chris, what are you hearing on the ground? Is 2-3 months? What do you think?
The question is, should they operate? Should he undergo surgery or not? That's a bit the question.
Yeah,
and they're not sure yet.
Because they're saying it's so we should say is it like a dislocation, or I can't remember. Something to do with his shoulder.
Broken collarbone, I think.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, it was. Sorry. So yeah, they're saying it could heal over time, couldn't it? But it might not heal so well. I again, this is me going off bits and pieces.
I don't know. I think it's more important because you have to live the rest of your life with it. So I would say, get it fixed properly. And if you need surgery and you need to be out for 2 months, or let's say without surgery 6 months or 6 weeks, I would say undergo surgery, because I don't know. At the end of the day, it's your health.
Yeah,
and that's what counts.
Absolutely. I sort of referenced in the opening wrap that our squad is looking a little barer now, and we might have to rely on youth players, and we can maybe talk about what players could come in the third part of the podcast. But sticking with youth, the big news this week, it was the opening of what we call it, La Academia, and I've heard like Sport City. I've seemed to hear different names for it. What are we calling it, Chris?
Well, it seems that we're calling it the Sport City.
Okay.
But over the last, let me say, 12 years, it's always being referred to as the Academy. So,
no, because I've seen like all the headlines this week seem to switch to calling it La Academia, and I was like, oh, I thought we were calling it Sport City, but it's fine. Yeah. What do you think about it, Chris? Is it looking good? I don't know if you might have gone past it a bit more, living where you are.
Yes, but I'm still waiting on the invitation to go to see it in real life.
Yeah,
I thought you sent an invitation to play. Waiting for my sign up. The injury.
If I would have to put a value on it now, seeing it with 120 kilometers per hour, driving past it at a kilometer of distance, I would say it looks stunning.
Okay.
But I think maybe we can ask the club if we can go and
have a kick around.
see it at least.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be possible, right? It's not something impossible.
No, it's like you said. Obviously, I think when I've gone past it, it looks a little bare, I would say, but it does look neat and tidy. And I know it's not finished yet, and there's other bits to add, but it looks, it's good to have that hub
This is the first stage, though, eh?
Yeah.
So it's not finished at all. This is the first stage, which took a lot of time because of protests, court cases, Altani not having money, not starting it. So this is a project that has started like when Altani just arrived.
Yeah. And we should say as well, it was perhaps fortunate we hung in the league, as in La Liga for a bit longer, because we got some of the CVC money, I think, and that's gone towards this. Obviously, I don't think we get as much now, but we got enough to, because you had to invest that in infrastructure, didn't you, or a portion of that. So that was quite lucky.
Before the opening, there was a little protest at the front gate.
Yeah, I saw.
People dressed up as, I don't know, they were mourning or something.
Okay.
About 40 families that had to leave their home for the building of this academy.
Oh, I'd missed that bit.
They didn't mean people. They meant special.
No, I know what you mean though, but I saw like
species of animals.
Yeah.
Bugs.
Yeah.
Mostly, I think.
Yeah, because it's sort of just as you enter the city, isn't it? On like pretty much the first thing you see among sort of opposite the airport, I guess, isn't it? Like
yes.
Sort of.
But if you've seen the place, like there were no trees, there was nothing. It was just an empty
wasteland.
Yeah. So I don't think many special animals did live there and can't find another place to live. But if it's bugs, it's fine. I hate bugs. So,
well, the
less bugs. I hope they build Malaga academies all over the city, and mostly around my house.
Apologies for any bug enthusiasts listening. Alex and Nick, I don't know if you have anything to add about the academy.
No, I think it looks really good. I mean, having been to Real Madrid and seen how it works, and I think
I went to Real Madrid. How many times did you go
there? It's the new Yeovil thing, isn't it? I reckon.
You're gonna probably. I was going to say you're probably going to have to give us a few weeks to just carry on.
No.
You know what's missing? But we at Real Madrid have. That's what's missing.
Yeah.
That's the next thing. No, but we at Real Madrid have this. We have that.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting what I think it was Kike Perez said this week about the usage of it as well. Obviously, it's mainly for the academy and for being able to blood that through and having a base. But the fact they're going to be able to like rent it out to teams that are doing like pre-season and winter train, I think they've already had a couple of inquiries from like Stuttgart and a team based in the Netherlands as well. I think it was PSV maybe. But he said this is going to be not something that happens right away, but going forward, pre-season, if we're not using it all the time or if we're playing away, then the fact that you can make revenue from this facility as well is very important to the club. And again, steps it towards this self-sustainable model, which is, where football should be really.
Important is because I don't care renting it out to anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, Marbella Football Centre are fuming. Yeah. Because that's where PSV usually goes, isn't it?
Finance goes there.
Yeah, I think everyone goes there. It's quite fun going.
I also think it's impossible to compete with the Marbella Football Center. But that's another thing.
Well, because I like that down here in Marbella. Because when I go for a run and you're on the Paseo, you try to see what tracksuits there. You try to spot the clubs. Which is quite.
Feyenoord is coming again, Matt. We're going to see a Feyenoord match, but that's for a different story.
Yeah.
Important thing is the first team is going to train there. They had problems for years with having a good pitch to train at. They were now training next to the stadium. It seems like a good pitch. I don't know why. But they don't seem to like it there. So the first team is going to train there. All the youth teams who were all through the city are coming to play there. So you have a base, you have a home. You create a home for your club. for your youth, which is important because most money earned in football is not through season tickets or anything. It's first the television money, and second, it's your academy.
Yeah.
So it's very important for a club like Malaga to have their own academy.
Are they going to start having because I know at the moment the press conferences and all that are done in the stadium. Are they going to start moving those there as well, or
What's there at the stadium? Sorry.
The press conferences that Payet there and players will do are obviously done at the stadium at the moment.
I don't know. Probably on Fridays, yes, because that's where the team trains.
Do you mean like how Real Madrid do, Alex?
Yeah.
I don't know yet, Alex. Tell us about Real Madrid. We're very interested in hearing about how it's done at Real Madrid.
Alex, I'll come to you next then, because Nick's just mentioned the name Kike Perez, and he's done some interview this week. I caught some of it. There was, and you can tell me if there's anything you want to, we need to add on top of this. But he said about we will be trying to get a replacement for Haitam in January. And the other sort of headline I took from it was he's trying to renew the contracts of Haitam, Carlos Lopez, and David Larrubia. Is there anything else in there?
So, I mean, yeah, I think we've touched on it briefly off air, but in terms of renovations, he's not talking about, he doesn't want to think about comings and goings in terms of players just yet, because he knows the players read about it and it's sort of, he doesn't want to upset that group morale. So he wants to make a few movements as possible. And in terms of, renovations, I think it's like you said, those players looking at renewing them. But anyone who is running out of contract in the summer, they haven't been offered a new contract yet, but they will have offers.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Like, you're saying that he said they're going to look for a replacement for Haitam. Isn't it more important to find a replacement for Juan de, Nelson Monte, Lawrence Zuniga,
Dione.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a professional, right? But I think you have other positions that definitely striker position for me. If Roberto or Dione gets injured, which can happen anytime soon, looking at our squad at the moment, then you have Lauren as your other striker.
Yep, I think that's a fair
I
point.
don't know what worries me more.
I suppose the centre-back issue, I don't know about Juan de, but Monte should be back, January, February, which is still a long time. But yeah, it's a fair point about the strikers. I'd go with that, but I guess...
I think Juan De's on his way back as well. I think he's also February time as well, January time as well, so he's not far away. Obviously, you've got Einar still fit, Murillo, who's just a revelation. So I can see why they wanted to replace like a Haitam figure, because they were counting on Haitam being like a new signing anyway. And then hopefully what you can do, if we get somebody in of that ilk who can play on that right-hand side, you can then push Dione back towards the middle, I imagine. But I do agree that the lack of intensity we've got up front, Chris, is just it's a bit sad, really. We're nowhere near at full strength up there.
We have been playing without Haitam for like almost half of the season already.
Yeah.
He played like 40 minutes total, 60 maybe.
Yeah. I think they were just counting on him coming back in when he did, and then obviously they were saving his spot in the team for him, hoping that he would come back and obviously not get injured. So if that opens up his spot again, then they've got to go and get somebody in to replace him.
I mean, we also still have Ramon, right? We always forget about him.
Yeah, it's, yeah. I always remember him. I'm just sort of losing a little bit of faith, to be honest with you. Just quickly, I'll just crowbar this in here then, because there is a winger that said he's interested in coming to Malaga, and that's Samu Castillejo, who's currently at Sassuolo, who's played for Malaga before. He said in an interview with Relevo this week, my goal since I left is to return to Malaga. But I think we can say that won't be happening anytime soon, even though in the same interview he said he'd like to come when he's essentially not there to retire. He wants to come and help properly. So if he means that, come now, Samu.
I think, to be honest, he's opening the door. That's what he does in this interview.
He's still got another 2 years on his contract at Sassuolo.
Money doesn't matter to him, he said.
No, money doesn't matter. And what I think, when a player says that, if you still want to be like, make some good transfers, you wouldn't say these things. This is this is the thing you say when you can think it, but you would keep it to yourself. Now you're opening a door.
Yeah, he's 28 now, so it's if
if he wants to do it and not to retire, he should come now.
I believe it when I see it.
Yes, me too. It seems like with Malaga, there's a lot of these players that flutter their eyelids.
I did some checking regarding to the rules in Primera Federación, because if we were, and this sounds very strange, we can say if we were in Segunda, it would be impossible to sign him due to you can only earn half the amount you were earning at your previous club.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that was the issue of Okazaki, wasn't it? That's why essentially signed.
It's why we didn't re-sign Isco as well when he was available. Just
that was possible. But now comes the thing. In the football leagues of the Federación, there are not any rules like that. So he could come back now. It would be more difficult once you're in Segunda.
Would he have to do that if, like similar to the Lucas Perez situation at Deportivo La Coruña, would he have to do that? Because obviously he's still got 2 years left on his contract at Villarreal.
He'd have to pay out the contract.
Yeah, unless Villarreal are like, go on loan for 2 years and then sign a deal, but I doubt they'd do that.
The question is Sam Castillejo a player of Sassuolo?
He's on loan at Sassuolo, and then he's
on loan from Valencia.
Yeah, I think he's on loan from Valencia.
Okay,
sorry.
Valencia.
He could technically go back to Valencia. So Sassuolo got a loan deal with an option to buy, but the fact he's only played 10 games so far this season says, maybe what you need to know about that. So again, maybe like a January move. Maybe this is the player that Quique Perez is referring to. Get him on a loan deal whilst we're in Primera.
I also want to say, like, if he was any good for Valencia, if he would be in the plans of Valencia, he would not be in Italy right now.
Yeah, fair point.
No, but he went for a big fee at the end of the day, didn't he? Did he go to Milan for
he played for AC Milan.
15 million euros and all that. So there's a player in there, but just seems to be a bit on the wane, unfortunately. But I'm sure he could definitely do something here, couldn't he?
We'll have you. He'd be could learn a thing or two from Kevin, I'm sure. Okay, just quickly then, guys, because we do have a lot of goals to talk about in the next bit, thankfully, which I'm looking forward to. So let's just.
I also have a fun thing. Today, Sani Sanchez was at the interview with Radio Marca Malaga, and he described the dressing room a bit.
Okay.
So what he said is, we all say things to get better, to get the team better. Manu Molina, for example, is very important. He has a great vibe around him.
That's cool.
La Rubia is the one that makes jokes. And everybody gets infected with this humor. The serious guy, do you know who the serious guy is?
I know Galileo.
No.
Juan Hernandez.
No. Nick?
Serious guy. Juande?
No.
Go on then.
The serious guy is Sangali.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can see that.
he's a top guy. He's great. And La Rubia always says, and this is the best part. La Rubia says, if Sangali is happy, it's the best day in the world.
Yeah, David Larrubia, that's surprising me a bit actually, because he does have like quite sort of serious posts on Instagram of him standing in sunset sort of roads and stuff like that. So I'm glad he's a bit of a joker. That's fun. Yeah, like I said, we maybe we could talk about the new La Rosaleda another time. There was sort of plans out for that last week, sort of after you recorded. Looks quite cool as a new stadium goes. Looks like a sort of funky.
We didn't do much with it, right? Is it a place like we've seen the pictures? Is it a place you'd like to go to?
I'd need to see it on ground level, but yeah, I like La Rosaleda as it is, but I do get that, you know, this is the future of football. It needs to be modernized. I will say the one thing that having been to quite a few new stadiums in Spain now and seen some, I think Spain, when it designs a new stadium, they get it right. So hopefully they can get this right as well. But
I've heard, and I'm not sure if it's true, that the FIFA wants to requires 5,000 parking places.
Yeah, I read that.
That's a thing. I'm not sure how to do that.
What on earth are we going to knock down to get that?
Will be that stretch annex, wouldn't it? Like where they're going to poke out that like sort of the tail of the stadium, I'm going to call it, which I think is going to be a hotel.
Yeah, but 5,000.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said,
the only thing I can think of, and you all call me crazy, the World Cup is in summer, during summer times. The only way this could happen, if I'm looking to the space around it, because there's not much, and there isn't any parking space around the stadium.
You're going to pave over the river.
What they could do, is make a ramp and park them in the canal.
Yeah, I think that's what could happen. To be honest with you, I know on the plans there's like a little park area designed in the riverbed anyway. So we'll see. Like I said,
they're not going to go underneath it. I thought that's what they were thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but you can never park 5,000 cars underneath the stadium.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many you can get into just a normal multi-story car park on a busy day. You know.
Yeah, but that's on a busy day during the whole day. That's the thing. You need 5,000 like parking places next to each other, or not next to each other, but 5,000 that can be occupied at the same time.
Yeah. Anyway, we could talk about this. I'm sure these plans will come up again. And just very quickly, I don't know why, but our game against El Dense in the Copa del Rey has been moved forward 24 hours to Wednesday instead of Thursday. So in case you haven't seen that, and you've made plans for Thursday, I don't think people are flying over for that game, fortunately, but we're playing on a Wednesday instead. So there's that too. So anyway, never mind the silly Copa del Rey. I know Chris is thinking that. Let's go and talk about...
I can't go. I wanted to go as it was free, but people have to work.
Yeah, I'm going to go. But yeah, like I said, we'll leave the silly game.
That's the difference.
Let's go back to the good old bread and butter of league football, and what a game of league football it was. So it was Real Murcia 1, Malaga 4. I'm going to say it again. Real Murcia 1, Malaga 4 in the first time, actually for the first time ever on the Geary cast, apart from maybe a cup game. I am saying Malaga 4. So I thought I would revel in that a bit. Great performance overall. Let's just get stuck into it. Let's start with the starting 11. Me and Luke started the live stream. Then Alex Ashmore arrived going, "Oh, my bus from Real Madrid was late, so sorry I'm late." But anyway, he did join us. So me and Luke talked about the starting 11. I guess the headlines were Manu Molina back in the starting 11. Murillo kept his place at centre-back. Dione was on the bench, which we sort of expected. And Juan Hernandez still out on the wing. We thought it was quite a sort of... I guess the Manu Molina thing seemed a little bit odd to us, but there wasn't that many options, really. So, Nick, what did you make of this starting 11?
I think it was a strange one, like you suggested. But I think, to be fair, after what we saw the week before, something needed to be done. Like say, complacencies maybe crept in with a few players. They weren't performing the way they have been doing. And like I say, everything I saw within the Alcoyano game suggested that we needed a fresh perspective. So, I know we've had some poor opinions on the likes of Manu Molina. Juan Hernandez hasn't covered himself in glory, but it'd be bad of Pellicer to pick the same team again and not change it to go into this game, because then you'd have players sort of suggesting, well, what do we need to do, to get into this team when they're playing so poorly like that?
Yeah. Chris, would you agree with that synopsis?
Yes, I agree. But everything regarding this match, to me, I have mixed feelings.
Oh, okay. That makes things interesting. So we can explore that in a second. Alex, any sort of... Were you like, yes, Manu Molina's back?
No, not really. To be brutally honest, I think... Yeah, I second what Nick said. I think changes needed to be made after what happened against Alcoyano, but that wasn't the changes that I was hoping for. But yeah, I guess when your squad is stripped like it is, it's sort of hard. You don't want to chuck in a youngster at the deep end in a game like this, where you probably, it's I hate the word must win, because you want to win every game, but in terms of importance and going to a place like Murcia, chucking a youngster in at the deep end in a away game is always going to be tough. So an experienced head may be better.
Yeah, I think I said on the live stream that the player I think has proven to be pretty mature so far, and I think could have played in this game, was Antonito. I really, really like him, as I said before. But otherwise, like you said, I was thinking, wow, this is a bit of a strange team. And then looking at the bench and thinking, oh, yeah, there's not many other places we can go with this. So, but yes, I was generally okay with the team. And I thought, here we go. And my stream was a bit slow. And within seconds, Luke Chambers was telling me there was a penalty. Then on the stream, I think we got the sort of penalty wrong. I thought it was the first guy, but I've watched it back since, and it was the second guy sort of bounces off. I think it was Monte, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It does sort of hit his hand, but very, very soft for me. I don't know if anybody thinks, oh, yeah, that's a penalty.
A bit similar to the one from the Newcastle PSG game last night. When the ball ricochets off either your own body or someone else, and your natural motion gets in the way, there's not much you can do about it. And for the referee to give that in the opening 3 minutes of the game just was, I don't know. It wasn't, by the laws of the game, yes, it's a penalty. It's hit his hand in the box. But, in terms of sporting integrity, you just let it play. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessary.
Yeah. Are we feeling the same, Alex and Chris? Or any wild deviation?
Difficult.
I'd say it was more a foul on Murillo as well, to be fair, from my perspective. I don't know what you guys think.
Okay. I think they could maybe argue that if it didn't hit his hand, it could have gone to the striker, who could have had a shot on goal. But, that's circumstantial. I definitely think, compared to the Newcastle one, I can see why it would have been given. But I can see both ways. If I was the ref, I think I would have made that decision on this occasion.
The thing is, the problem I have with it, if you don't give it because it's the 3rd minute.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Nothing else the rest of the match.
Yeah, I've got no. Yeah, fair point. I just thought it was a bit of a soft.
I also understand Nick's view, but then any penalty you give after 20 seconds, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. just to give because this isn't going to be much fun for any Real Murcia fans listening if they have decided to listen, but so we'll give them some praise. What a penalty from Ika Guarachena.
Really good.
Like
Very
just
good taken.
one step, bang. He's got a very famous uncle, actually. I sort of thought I checked his name out because I thought that sounds very vaguely familiar. His uncle won the league with Athletic Club in the 80s. And sort of,
you and your uncles, Matt.
oh, yeah. That was for those that didn't listen to the live stream. I kept telling stories about footballers' uncles, and I literally didn't even think of that. Won lots of trophies with Athletic Club, so it runs in the family, etc. Great penalty. And yes, I think it's fair to say we were worried, but it was generally a good response. I would say we sort of calmed things down, and we scored from a corner, Alex. Pretty easy, actually.
I think just before that as well. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a vague penalty shout for us. Yeah. I don't think it was a penalty, but I think a really good way to respond. And I remember because I think I joined when it was 1-1, and seeing the penalty and then seeing us go 1-0 down, I thought, oh God, here we go. This is going to be a rough week. But really good response, and we'll talk more about it as the game as we progress through the game. But set pieces seem to be our secret weapon. For some reason, we've unlocked a cheat code for this game. We did really well.
Yeah, I guess we've got to say it was bad defending, though, because I think if there's a corner and the ball makes it to the player's side foot on the ground in the 6 yards, something's gone wrong with it.
There's an analogy here that we could use.
Can I say something about my mixed feelings already?
Okay, go for it.
Or do we want to wait and make a mixed grill of it? Grilling it, waiting till the end. I think we weren't so good. I'm very sorry.
What, in the whole game?
Yeah, I think Murcia was really bad, and their defense is what gave us 4 goals because, wow.
Reminded me of sort of Malaga defending of old, of the
So with respect to every Real Murcia fan listening, but wow, what a mistakes at their defense. I mean, you can never get that first goal with any decent defenders around. Mm-hmm. Because the ball literally falls on his foot. I've never seen somebody score with his foot from a penalty from a corner like that.
I think I've seen people score against Malaga like that.
I felt like Gennaro was Moses in this scenario, and then he just parted his hands, and the red shirts just split, and he just waded his way in, and then just tucked it away. And it was a high quality goal to think. I do agree with you that I think Murcia were very, very poor in this game. I also thought Malaga looked like they had a lot of fun, especially in places where, frankly, we did start to take the piss a little bit, especially towards the end of the game. But you are right when you see it from the camera angle on the replay and how much space Gennaro's got to swing his arms around and put a foot on the top of that. He could have swung a cat in that space, you know what I mean? Like, it's just he had so much room for activities. What a finish, you know what I mean? After the back of last week, Gennaro's performance, this is what he needed.
Yeah,
I see that every week after he has a because this week wasn't a great performance because we played against a very, very bad Murcia.
Yeah, which is strange because Murcia were tipped to be one of the promotion contenders, weren't they? Like I say, they've got a fair budget. They've got some pretty high-profile players in there as well for this league. So, to see them kind of doing what they're doing and the play they played in this match is quite unusual. Like Alex says, a bit Malaga-esque, really, of old.
I would say I agree with what Chris said as well. Like obviously they were awful, and I think I'd agree in the first half, I didn't think we were great. I think like Alex joined the live stream and he was like, what have I missed, guys? And all excited. And we're like, well, it's gone really, really flat, actually. It was the rest of the first half was really scrappy. But I think we were slightly better, but without being good. I would say, though, like Nick said, I think once we got that second goal and we realized how sort of soft they were, I think we did have quite a lot of fun. And I would say it was a very good performance in the second half. Not like scintillating, like, oh my God, wow. But
I mean, the second goal is the only goal for me that was a good goal.
yeah, let's
Let's
jump.
be honest.
I don't know whether I'm being unfair, but even then, for the second goal, just for all of them, to be honest, one of the worst defensive displays as a team in a game I've ever seen in my life. Just no marking, just free for all. There you go, lads. You're 5'8". You can have a free header in the box. We're not going to bother marking you. You know, go for it.
What I will say with the second goal, and you are right, Alex. Again, it was sort of the header was a bit easy. And I'm not 100% sure who took it because I tried to watch the replay back and it was hard. It was a great corner. It was a proper.
It was Juan Hernandez. It was either Juan Hernandez or Manu Molina, but I think it was Hernandez.
I thought it was Juan Hernandez, but I couldn't quite work it out from the replay. But yeah, it was a proper, like, perfect height, perfect part of the box, fizzed in there. There should have been more of a battle against, you know, our young centre-back Murillo, but I think we got to give credit to the corner as well. Like the first corner, I agree with, like you've all said, no, the corner shouldn't have made it that far to Canaro, but this was a good one, I thought. So, but still not. There should have been him or something.
We give an honourable mention to you for that block as well.
Oh yes, definitely. I made a note of that. Just before half time, or it was second.
I think it was just before 2-1.
It was.
It was the sort of shoulder, I think.
Yeah, it was, Murcia had a header from about 3 or 4 yards, wasn't it? And he just sort of body popped in the way. And
did he? Was it body pop or was it a little elbow nudge? Like say we missed the first. We got the first play, but looking back on the replay, he just kind of like dinks it a little bit onto the post. So
what I will. Speaking of replays, I think we said this on the live stream as well. Considering Murcia have this pretty like bit dull looking stadium, but obviously very modern and good. Awful camera angle. It's just the same camera zoom in a bit again. I thought there'd be a little bit more scope to play around with here, but never mind. It was consistent. It was better than Antequera or Linares.
I didn't have any trouble with Antequera.
Oh, yes. I didn't either because I didn't watch it.
Was it so bad, Antequera? Did you guys had like...
It was better, to be fair, than what we'd heard. So the first one where they've celebrated, obviously a part of it is that Antequera didn't score, so we didn't get to see people jumping up in front of the camera. But it actually wasn't that bad. We expected worse. But this one was like it was filmed. It was like, you know, them cameras from an old Western film. Everything just seemed like it was in sepia tone.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
actually, it's like everything had a brown tinge to it. I was like, yeah, either Mercy is really dirty, or they've got one of those like old timey cameras that have got like a spinning thing on it.
Well, Murcia is sort of just on the cusp of that sort of Western sort of area, isn't it? Like deserts and stuff. So
it's next to the highway, if it helps.
Yeah, it is. Maybe. Yeah. It's very barren land around Murcia. It looks very unforgiving.
But beautiful. Murcia is beautiful.
Is it?
I don't know about that.
For all the Murcia fans, Murcia is beautiful.
Yeah. It grew. I think I've been 4 times now, and it was winning me round the 4th time. But
yeah,
it's fine. But I don't.
It's like a good wine. The first few sips are, and then.
So you mean a bad wine? The more you drink it, the less you taste it.
After 30 bottles, it gets really good.
Yeah. To be fair, I think the 4th time I was in Murcia, I probably had a few bottles. I did stay in a lovely little hotel on the edge of Murcia, which was like in the woods and stuff. That was great once. The city, it's not pretty. It's got a nice cathedral, but yeah. Anyway.
Beautiful.
That's for my travel podcast, which I haven't made yet. Again, we talked about the assist from a corner. Was it good? Was it bad? We could go to the third goal. Obviously, I'm going to say it was a good assist, and Kevin absolutely baffled the defense. But when I watched it back this afternoon, I thought, come on, defenders. It wasn't that hard to see that gap down the left that he was going to run down. But still, he did it. He put a nice little cross. I guess then there was more bad defending when the defender looked like he was going to block Danny Lorenzo, and Danny Lorenzo sort of brushed him off and tapped into an empty net. Chris, are we going good assist for this one or bad defending again, or a bit of both?
Bad defending. I'm sorry, guys. It
was all bad defending.
defending. Or are you going to ask, like, with the fourth goal, if it was...
That was different. That was comedy, that was.
Yeah, good to get Danny Lorenzo on the score sheet as well. And just, again, I know we sort of joked about it, or you've joked with me about it before, that when I said Kevin's good and you said he's got no assists, no goals and stuff. I think it's always good for Kevin to get goals and assists, because we have spoken before. I think you've said, Chris. I'm a big Kevin fan, but Kevin's probably a bigger Kevin fan, so it's probably good for his.
We can't give this. We can't count this as assist.
I think we can, can't we?
No, poor defending.
Yeah, but it's still an assist.
I don't count it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't think you get to decide, do you? It's an assist.
I think along the lines of what you're saying, Matt.
Little did you know what I can and don't decide.
Only Chris could come away from the biggest win of the season so far and be like, no, I have mixed feelings. It's not an assist. I hate Kevin.
No, I don't hate Kevin. But, like, I have a kid who is the worst footballer I've ever seen, probably. And he's only 4 years old. So I'm afraid of what's coming in the future. Given that assist with no problem.
Okay. And just quickly, you did say, Nick, it's our biggest win of the season. We should add in the fact this is the first time we scored 4 goals since April 2019. So
no.
What?
Pellicer has done it 3 times in a Malaga.
In the official league match, the last time we scored 4 goals was in 2018 against Alcorcón.
Oh, I wrote down 2019. Sorry, maybe I misread the year.
It was 2019.
I thought
it's 2018 league match.
Yeah.
2019 with Victor Sanchez's first game
against
Victor Sanchez Ramos' first game away at Alcorcón.
Yeah, that's what I've got written down.
April 2019.
Real Madrid journalist is going up against the Oracle. I don't like this.
1,000.
I don't like it when mum and your daddy fight.
1,685 days ago. So yeah, that'd probably be about 20.
Because in my fact book, to defend myself, I had the latest one. I thought it was against Deportivo La Coruña.
We scored 4 past Corucho in the cup.
Yeah.
But I didn't count the cup.
No, I didn't count.
So I thought it was 2019 against Deportivo La Coruña.
So not only are you erasing assists from players, legitimate assists, now you're changing something.
No. But then I got corrected by a journalist, which name I won't say. Oxford Direct Radio, and he said no. I will. No. 4-1 2018 against Alcorcón.
Okay. Answers on a postcard.
I believe you directly.
Okay. We can double check maybe later. Let's just get, we scored 4 goals anyway. Let's get to the 4th goal. Correct me if I'm wrong here, because I made a note of this and I meant to check. Obviously, as we've said,
I'm not correcting anymore.
Okay. You can agree it was shambolic defending. Ball whipped into the box. Defender sort of hits him on the back heel. Roberto runs on, taps it in from 7-8 yards out. Was it Victor Garcia with the crossing?
Kevin.
Yeah, great cross.
Or was it Kevin?
It was Kevin.
Undefendable.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Victor Garcia because I was going to give it to him.
I'll give him, you know what I'll do? I'll give him an assist too.
Victor Garcia. I thought it was Victor Garcia. I meant to go check that. But
Kevin
I'll give Kevin 2 assists this match.
Okay.
And I'll give Victor Garcia 1, just because we don't know.
Oh, great. Oh, well done, Kevin. Sorry for missing that.
Oh, dear.
Very good goal as well, to be fair. I'm glad Roberto's managed to get there. That's probably what he needs right now.
Yeah.
I like to say, to try and get back onto a bit of a scoring run. And, it's good to see that we're scoring goals all over the pitch, but we really need him firing. And it was such a well-taken goal. I know it was put on a plate for him, but as far as the finish is concerned, it was high class.
Yeah, and he has missed some good chances.
This was a good goal. He finished it very well. You can also say, as a striker, you have to be in that position,
Yep.
But on the other hand, it's very easy when the defender just gives the ball to him. Have to be honest.
It was a bit like, you see people getting really, really angry when they're playing FIFA because the game has glitched and it gives a goal away. It was a bit like a glitch, wasn't it, with the defenders? Just sort of, yeah. Oh, we had good fun watching this game on the live stream. It was sort of, and this was still was about 20 minutes to go still? We've got to get 5 here. I was a little bit disappointed in the end. We didn't get
I watched it in a freaking candy shop. I mean,
in the candy shop. I forgot about that.
Was it you or Luke, Matt, that was singing "We Want 6"?
I don't know. I'd been drinking all day.
So it was Matt.
Did you hear 6 or did you hear 6? And did they mean something else, Alex Ashmore?
Be pretty sad if I was in my flat by myself on the computer singing "I Want Sex," but I'm guessing that's what we're getting at.
Nothing to shame for, man. We all have been there.
Okay, that's okay then, as long as it's not just me. I guess, obviously we've touched upon the main negative from this game was obviously Nelson Monte going off injured. We sort of were a bit worried when it happened, but I think I kept saying on the live stream, it's just an impact injury. It's just an impact injury.
I said it when I joined you from the candy shop, which is called La Nina, by the way. If you're ever in Benalmádena Pueblo, buy some candy at La Nina. Don't offer it to kids, but just buy it and eat it yourself.
Why do I feel like you've been lured into this shop by the owner with the promise of sweets?
So I will say the name once again, La Nina in Benalmádena Pueblo. If you're ever there, buy some candy.
Wait, Chris, where did you watch the game?
In a candy shop called La Nina in Benalmádena Pueblo.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's enough for my... It was a great deed for me to go and watch it there.
It was fun.
I mean, the guy is a Malaga fan, didn't see Malaga in a long time because he couldn't or doesn't have the ability to get a contract for FVF TV or Movistar. So,
did you buy any sweets in the shop?
Sorry?
Did you buy any sweets while you were watching the game?
There wasn't any sweets in the shop. He showed us the video. There was nothing left.
He should be happy. I have made loads of publicity for him. No, joking. I always buy a drink every day. He's my neighbor. I have drinks here in the refrigerator, but I go there and then I talk a bit.
Okay. Anyway, Kevin got a bit.
They can held this man hostage.
Yeah.
That's where my thoughts going to it now. He just let himself in.
No. I asked him. I said, like, no. I said, like, would you like to watch Malaga together? Like, if I bring my laptop because I have the FVF contract. And he was so happy. He directly said yes, and he put 2 chairs in the middle of the candy shop where we sat on, and then he asked, "Do you want any candy?" I said, "No, thank you." So I bought a bag of crisps of him, That's what I did. And a can of drink, soda, and then we sat down in the middle of a candy shop watching football on a laptop.
And when Malaga
While people were coming in to buy their candy.
and when Malaga scored the fourth, did you both look at each other and go, "It's like taking candy from a baby"? Anyway, I was trying to say Kevin picked up an injury too, but I think he's okay, isn't he? I think he was just a bit knackered. He just went, ah. He just clapped on the floor and said, "Nah, I'm done." I think I've mentioned already. Good to see Victor Garcia back. We were all very big fans of him earlier in the season when his glorious left foot. So look forward to seeing that again. We can talk about the red card as well. I think we mentioned on the live stream, actually, they were, I think you said, Nick, earlier that we were sort of having a bit of fun. And I think we were having a bit too much fun and they were getting angry with us. And it was a late tackle. I thought he might get away with it, but it probably was a red card. I don't know if anyone's got any strong views on it.
Was it a straight red or a second?
Definitely.
Yes, straight red. It was definitely a straight red. No doubt.
Just left it in a bit longer, didn't he? No, I think it was a red, sorry. But I meant like, I thought he'd done it sneakily enough to get away with it because he didn't have like that, like really, really strong contact. It was just at the end of the slide, but
he went with a stretch. He went with a stretch with the whole stretched foot towards the player. I mean, that's a straight red. It's a easy red.
Mario's agility than it is the stretched leg not maybe quite being there. I think Mario did well to kind of like get out of the way of it, but the malice was there. You could see he was frustrated. You could see he went for it, and he deserves what he gets. He's now going to miss the next 2 games.
If I was a Real Murcia player, I would probably have done it directly after the 4-1.
Yeah, sod this.
I mean, you don't ask for a change yourself when you're still fit, right? So, well, I would have invented an injury to myself. Change. Or I would have done this kind of action, get a red card, which is more fun in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then at least you get 2 weeks off of work where you don't have to be on the pitch with dead defenders.
Yes. Okay. So again, Malaga scored 4 goals. Let's mention that one more time, even though it might have been easy. It's always nice.
And I watched it in a candy shop. Let's mention that one more time as well. Important.
Okay. All the important things covered there. But the last important thing to cover is our Chumbo and Biznaga. Let's get the Chumbos out of the way. Again, quite difficult in this game because I think everybody played quite well. So, Alex, I'll go to you first since you joined us on the stream.
Like you said, difficult. I think I'm just going to go through inactivity. I'm going to go for Manu Molina. I don't think he did. I don't think he had an awful game. It wasn't as I've seen worse performances from him, but just didn't really see a lot from him. I feel a bit harsh giving him that, but no one played badly, to be honest.
Okay, what about you, Nick? Any different?
I feel like we should all get one of these a season, and I feel like I should abstain from Chumbo in this time round because I don't think. I very much agree with what Alex says. I don't think anyone had a bad game. If you're going to be really harsh, you could say, Monte handballing it, giving away a penalty in the 3rd minute, maybe.
Getting injured, silly sod.
Yeah, exactly. Being a world-class player for all season and then getting injured and bugging us up. But no, I think I want to abstain on this one. I don't think anyone deserves to be a Chumbo in this game.
All right, okay. Chris?
I don't have a Chumbo, but I have to give it to someone.
We're an open revolt, Chris. Abstain, Chris. Join me.
No, you can't. Because you can't.
No need for that, Chris.
I mean, serious, man. You have to pick one. Else I'm going to... No.
I'm glad Nick.
Nelson Monte.
Okay.
You can't give handballs away like that. It can cost you.
Okay.
I don't think he gave it away. I think he just hit him, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit hard.
You can't stand like that in the 6-yard box. That's the rule there.
Maybe it's the player. I didn't see the whole match.
I see. I had two names written down, and again, not because I thought they were awful. And one I might have changed, but I was going to go Juan Hernandez, but I think it was him that put that corner in, and it was a really good corner, and that was fun.
Yeah.
So the other one I had written down was Danny Sanchez. Just got nothing really to say about him. I didn't think he was awful.
Can we give it an honourable mention to the Murcia pitch for?
Oh yes, let's give it to that.
That can be in our Malaga Gaga for November.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, no, that's too late now, Alex. Don't put that pressure.
A pitch that's also trying to be a World Cup pitch as well. Let's not forget.
Yeah. And even
they're even in contention with,
like you said as well, Nick, with the sort of sepia camera. I think I even said it looked a bit like España 1982 on the live stream. Actually, the whole thing looked like grainy footage.
But their stadium has better facilities than we have at this very moment. I don't think we can say a lot until we have a new stadium.
Well, I'm going to say I think our stadium's better, though.
I like our stadium more.
I don't know how the food is there. I mean, I ordered 2 weeks ago. I ordered a hamburger, which was colder than the weather in Blackpool. It tasted horrible.
I think I either thought it on the live stream or I said it out loud. There was quite a lot of that on Sunday. We got quite far without mentioning it does feature the word condom in its title, which anyway. So that's I don't know, is that a plus point or a negative point against them? Tell you what, they certainly didn't look safe.
Hey.
Anyway, right, fun stuff then, Biznaga. Again, I think this is quite difficult because I think everybody played a good game and some played a very good game, but without absolutely dazzling. So I'll go to you first again, Alex.
I'm going to go with Canaro for this week. I think, he's not had the best of times recently. Obviously he's had worse times, but I think he, put in a really good defensive and attacking performance. I think, saved us on that occasion when it was 1-1. I just think he had a stellar game all round.
Stellar game all round. Who else had a stellar game all round, Nick?
Well, I agree. Gennaro, honourable mention for him. Honourable mention for Kevin as well. Like I say, he looked like he was having a lot of fun, and to get the assist he did was winning. But Murillo, for me, just again coming in imperious, and to get your first goal in a Malaga shirt is a very special moment for him. I think it was Luke who made the point as well that all the goal scorers were Malaga Academy products as well, which is a nice ring to it too. So Murillo for me. And
quite fitting during the week where we've opened our academy or reopened it or renovated it, whatever. Actually, not reopened it, it's been new. Anyway, I'm going to move on swiftly. Chris.
Well, I also have a player who didn't have a really good time the last few weeks. It was hard, but I'm going for Loren. No, I'm joking. I'm going with Murillo as well. Very good match. Steady at the back, which is I always find very impressive of young players who play at the center back position, that they can be so steady when they didn't play much on the highest level on the highest level in the first team yet.
Yeah, I've got three names written down. I've got Gennaro, who I thought was back to being good. We talked quite a lot about Roberto on the stream. We thought he was, again, we say he runs around and stuff, but he was causing them to make these silly mistakes and putting them under pressure. But yeah, I agree with you guys. It's only one guy for me, and that's Murillo. I thought he was excellent, got us the goal, got one of their players sent off. Yeah,
I think Herrero had another good week. Didn't do anything wrong. Herrero had another week without any mistakes. He sort of, I couldn't fault him. Even the loss to Alcoyano, I don't think he did anything wrong particularly.
He didn't have anything to do in Alcoyano game. No one had anything to do.
Yeah,
it's the irony of this game being so brilliant, and then last week's being so shite.
Yeah, and he wasn't saving that penalty. That was just perfect. That was they peaked too quick, Murcia, in this game because it was very much downhill after. But there you go. That is Malaga 4-1 against Real Murcia. and we go home to La Rosaleda Saturday evening. So let's go and talk about that game. So La Rosaleda's not looked quite as much of a fortress in the past couple of weeks with that draw with Cordoba and the loss, which we were all at against Alcoyano. We have Atlético Sanluqueño. Have I said that right? I said it wrong earlier. Sanluqueño. Sanluqueño. I keep getting the end bit wrong. Coming this week. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, of all the teams, like when we saw this league table at the start of the year, like even teams like Linares, I sort of had heard bits of or seen their fixtures. This is one of the teams I had no idea about. I don't know if you guys had anything about them that you'd seen before. Or...
Before the research, I, to be honest, knew next to nothing about them.
Me too. Even they're probably one of the only ones. I think their only one I had to look up on a map where it was, because obviously it's what's it called, Sanlúcar de Barrameda.
Yeah, it's in the Cadiz region.
Yeah. I saw like it's sort of like the north bit of Cadiz, isn't it? Go on then, Alex. You said earlier, because I've done a bit of research on them as well. I found some fun stuff, but you said I will get my notebook with my notes in, because you're a professional now. So
yes.
What you
I
found?
tried to pick out some pod-based links. So just generally interesting stories. Their manager Antonio Ortega was born in Moscow in the Soviet Union, as it was called back then.
Not their manager, Alex. Not their manager. He was their last manager.
Oh, Wikipedia's wrong then.
Oh, come on, Alex. This is the third division.
Wow.
Here's my sports journalism course for you, Alex. Do not trust third division Spanish Wikipedia.
I should know.
Yeah, to be fair, just to give you an insight on that, I was just clicking around and it said Koke as one of the players from the season, and then the link puts it through to Giles Coke. If you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan or a Grimsby fan from a certain age back in the Football League, you'll recognise that name, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't play for Atlético Sanluqueño right now.
But Alex, to be honest with you, I made a note of this guy as well. So should we just mention him anyway? Because he's got a fun...
Yeah, quite interesting. So born in what was known as the Soviet Union in Moscow. His parents were sent to Russia in 1937 due to the Spanish Civil War. He's managed loads of lower league Madrid teams. Just all seems like one of those, you go into a bar in sort of the middle of Spain, you meet a character, and it feels like one of those people that you would meet in a bar.
He looks like it.
Yeah. They had one for you, Nick, former player, former Blackpool player as well, Edu Oriol. I don't know if you remember him.
I remember
very brief.
Juan Cala is their president, who used to play for Sevilla, played for Cardiff. Just a few former Malaga players as former players. Abel Moreno, Malaga B. Second round of the Copa del Rey is the furthest they've got in the cup, and a third place finish in the third tier is the highest they've got in the league system. So they had Nolito as well as a former player, which is probably the most well-known player that I'd heard of in terms of former players.
He's from there, actually. I've noticed he's from the most notable former player, and I believe he is still playing local football up there, is Danny Guiza, who was in the Euro 2008 winning squad that scored all those goals for Mallorca, and it was like a great one-season wonder. But he played there in his 40s and played 100 games for them. I think it's one of the clubs he played most at, which I thought was quite fun. I don't know if you guys saw. So sorry to piss on your chips a bit there, Alex. But do you know who the manager is now? It is Segovia, who was the man who got Antequera promoted to this league.
Oh.
He's the one that did the job there. He's only won one game. They've only won 3 games all season. They're 15th in the league. They did feature, I forgot, in the first issue of Malaga Gaga, because Frank Mwepu scored a hat-trick, who is the brother of Enoch Mwepu, who played for Brentford and Brighton, and then very sadly had to retire because of a heart issue. and I think he was quite unwell as well. I think he's okay now because he's doing coaching at Brighton. Yeah, there's some little. You're all right. I did see Coke played for them, or Koke played for them, Nick, the one that played for Ibiza, because there was lots of jokes about him last year, wasn't there? About Koke and it. But I didn't click on the name that went to Giles Coke, and I haven't heard the name Giles Coke. That's
in a very long time. But
Can I say something?
You go for it, Chris.
I think they have the ugliest badge in this whole league. Can I say that?
I'm not a fan of it.
But they have a beautiful home kit.
It feels like something you draw on Microsoft Paint and sort of.
No, that's the Yeovil badge.
No.
Yeah, I hope there's none of their fans listening, because we've slagged off their badge. I've said, who the hell are these guys? Then we've got their manager wrong.
But I also gave a compliment because of their beautiful home kits.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, I think I saw their away kit looks quite cool too. But again, I wasn't sure if it was this season's. It looked a bit like one of those like navy blue Atletico Madrid away shirts from a while ago. Like
Would it be too mean for me to make the joke, Matt, that you were bold to assume fans had an S on the end of it? In terms of multiple.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cruel joke towards Matt.
No.
I thought it was going now. I thought it was going that way. Well,
I know, it was just a joke about the fact that, don't worry.
Should we leave our friends Sanluqueño there? Because I don't know if we've got much else. I don't want to offend just anymore. I want to. Oh no, sorry. That's a mistake. Never mind. I was going to say I want to go to their ground, but I'm thinking the San Fernando's ground.
No, but they also have a decent ground.
Yeah, I didn't look at their ground. I just realized.
Take a look, because it's a pretty nice ground. I get a bit of English feelings with it.
Oh, I'm interested. So sorry, everyone listening, that you can just hear us tapping at the moment.
El Palmar de San Luca.
It looks a bit similar to Linares' ground. That sort of. Yeah, you're right, Chris. It is a good-looking ground.
It's a good-looking ground.
Yeah, I take it back. I want to go here instead of San Fernando. No.
El Palmar, it's the name, and the fun thing is, it's called El Palmar.
Mm-hmm.
I do like their kit as well, like you said.
Yeah.
There you go. This is now. Stay tuned, Sanluqueño fans, because we're on board now.
It kind of reminds me of the Corruccio ground that we played in the cup in A Coruña a few years ago.
And hey, I noticed they wear a green shirt. I hope there's a podcast about teams in green shirts coming up soon.
That would be handy. Should we spend an hour talking about Sanluqueño?
Anyway, go check out Platini play for Kuwait next week. Anyway, okay. Yeah,
You didn't do that.
I didn't do what?
Check out my OnlyFans next week. Something very special, Christmas edition. No, it's fine.
Okay. Anyway, I would argue it's not. It's certainly the stuff we talk about on the other podcast is not sexy enough for OnlyFans. It's very geeky.
And I can only say my OnlyFans next week is a dedication to Sticky Vicky.
Oh my god! Yeah, just for context, people, before we press record, Sticky Vicky, who has passed away today, and again,
yes,
I was going to say, but we found Chris didn't know who Sticky Vicky is. We realized it might be a bad idea telling him, but
yes, they had to wait the whole episode with recording till I watched the full show of her.
Yeah, so
and I can say, what an artist.
Yeah. To be fair, on the Twitter post the BBC made, they described her as a dancer, and that the word dancer is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Not a post from the BBC.
It is, yeah, exactly. She's a woman of stature.
Wow.
I mean, the 29th of November will for always be my Sticky Vicky day.
I know. To be fair, it's devastating. She didn't even get to put a Christmas tree up. which, Chris, you'll find out that's part of our act.
We met on 29th of November, and I also said my goodbyes to her on 29th of November.
Yeah. Well, you can
We
do.
really don't know anything about Atlético Sanluqueño, do we?
Yeah. And we were starting to say nice things about them as well.
Yeah.
Let's get out of this sticky situation and talk about Malaga Club de Football. Then,
Do you think there will be a victory for Malaga next weekend?
Yeah, let's
see. Can we get a victory?
Yeah. Let's see what we can pop out. So I'm trying to think. Anyway, no, I'm going to not make that joke. Any changes in the starting 11, Alex? Is there anyone who comes in? Obviously, we don't have Nelson Monte. I guess we don't have any other choice, but it's got to be Einar. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I think Einar. I think maybe try and figure a way of getting a youngster into that starting 11 in the midfield instead of Manu Molina, because, home game against a team lower than us in the division, I feel like it's a good opportunity to blood them in, whether that be someone who hasn't played a lot or, needs more minutes. I'd rather see a youngster than Manu Molina play.
I would also start with Vikitor.
Okay.
Chris.
Right,
without a joke, I would start with Victor.
With who, sorry? Oh, Victor Garcia.
Yeah, Vikitor.
I hope, if he's back, and obviously he got minutes in the last game. I'd like to see him start ahead of Dani Sanchez. I think Dani Sanchez has been fine, but I think Victor Garcia.
But not now. So stick with Victor.
Anyway, I was just going to make a point as well, because I realized I didn't do it in the last part, that I actually thought Manu Molina played okay in the last game. I thought he was quite good. But
you just start with Manu Molina. I mean, what other choice do you have?
Well, I like Antonito, as I keep saying. I really, really think he's good, and looks quite like he can handle it. Again, one of the uncles I mentioned in the live stream on my stories of uncles I've met. Any other changes, Nick?
I suppose we're in a sticky situation with no Nelson Monte, but I have enough faith in Einar to come back in and maybe keep his place. Victor Garcia definitely has to come back in for me for creativity. And I'd like to see Antonito more, but I don't think he's quite there yet. So Manu Molina as a last chance option, maybe. But again, we are very much into the round peg, square hole territory with this Malaga side of the injuries that we've got. So we'll be just shoving in players wherever we can.
Nick, would you stick with Murillo on the pitch?
Yeah, I would. Like I say, I think he's now one of the first names on the team sheet for me.
I'd say he's been pulling it out the bag.
I mean, I don't have any other names popping out of my head that could start for Murillo.
Okay, definitely.
Dear.
Just quickly, because I think I put this stat in the last bit, and it's worth perhaps throwing out there because we've not mentioned it. We still have the best defense in the league. Obviously, we've had Monte, a big part of that. 10 goals conceded in 14 games. There's one other team, though, that has the same as us. Do you know who that is?
No.
Atlético Sanluqueño. No.
What did he say?
Atlético Sanluqueño.
It's actually Alcoyano.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't like them. We don't like them with their silly shit.
They ruined my holiday. That's what they did. And it was a very short holiday, but they ruined it nonetheless. Like, I had to explain to my friends that I brought over that I've been hyping up coming to watch a Malaga game for about 4 years, that this is going to be great. And Alcoyano are nothing, and we're, unbeaten since August. And then they go and do that. And I think Sergio Pace owes me an apology. He's mugged me off a little bit in front of my friends.
And this memory will always stick with them. And the fact that I made your friend do the whole thing.
So every time, we always have the football chat on the weekend in our group chat that we have. And every time he now mentions Hull City scoring or one of their players doing something, I always just send him that clip. That's just now what we do.
But did you add the sad moment with the sad music on it?
I've clipped that separately, to be fair, just to send him when I'm feeling sad, if I'm honest with you. It's created lots of memes for us, which is great. But yeah, so I think, like I said, I'm going to be a bit wary of where I bring people to games going forward because I found out that Alcoyano kind of ruined it for some people. Ruby's first game is going to be in January, hopefully, if the fixtures are kind to us. But that's a game at home against Castellón that weekend. So I don't know whether that's a good one or a bad one to take her to, but maybe just part of the news as well to say people, obviously the fixtures are released just before Christmas for the second half of the season, which is excellent planning if you are looking to take in a game in the second half of the season as well.
The more I hear about this league, the more I like it.
Yeah, I'm loving it. You know, the lack of VAR and fixtures laid out for you. Go into places like Ibiza.
All the nephews of famous uncles.
Yeah, famous uncles. Admittedly, that was in a cup game.
See olive tree behind the goal at Antequera Stadium.
It's beautiful.
This league is different.
This is the real Primera. This is our Primera. Anyway, I think we've covered everything there, and you know, we covered a lot. We've even got in a fitting tribute to a
legend, Geary legend.
This is a Geary legend that I'm a bit worried about what Chris is going to do with the rest of his night now and what sort of internet wormhole he's going to fall down because he's only discovered this legend 2 hours ago.
Yes.
He's running down to that candy shop. With his
I've got the hand cream ready, waiting for me.
Open that Fanta Limon. Something to show you.
My wife is going to learn some new tricks tonight.
Right,
She will be the next Sticky Vicky.
Well, just quickly, I did see a headline that's saying her 14-year-old, let me guess right. Her niece saw her live for the first time when she was 14 and wants to take over from her. So, well, that's a bit dark. She's not 14 now, from my understanding. But
that's a bit mortifying to end the podcast on.
Yeah, sorry.
Happy thoughts. Alex, are we doing a live stream on Saturday night?
I'm going to get a lot of... I can't. I'm going to Real Madrid play Granada. I did actually, I forgot to mention this. I bumped into Arda Güler the other day.
The Turkish player. Yeah. Oh, okay. I suppose you do when you're just freely wandering around the Real Madrid. You'll bump into anybody.
You're a great Alex Ashmore now.
So the Real Madrid game kicks off at 6:30. We kick off at 8, don't we?
No.
8 o'clock Spanish time, yeah. So, this might be delightful news to my wife then, because we were planning on watching Doctor Who and having tapas. So, if it's just me here, because Matt and Chris, you'll be at the game. Luke's travelling over to watch the game for a little trip. And if you're watching Real Madrid, then I'm not going to do it on my own. So, unfortunately, no live stream this week, I suppose.
Well, thank you guys, because I thought we were kicking off at 6 o'clock. So, I'm glad I'd listened to you. It would have been 4 hours at Baramanas Madrid. It would have been quite the afternoon.
Let me just double check that for you, Matt.
No, I've just checked it. It
is 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Anyway, let's
wrap it. Great podcast where we really have our more things like.
Yeah. I don't even know when the kickoff is. Anyway, I had last week off. I'm finding my fitness again.
We are just exhausted, Alex and me.
And well, Alex is, to be fair, we're mocking Alex. He has done 3 in a row. He did the 2 podcasts live stream. So he's got that Real Madrid, work ethic in him already.
But you also see, because I can't look at this guy now normally anymore, because I also, since I know that he was a model, I feel like we have a big star in our middle.
Well, as I think I've said on the podcast before, I turned down a modelling job for Joma for the new Swansea City shirt once because the guy, head of marketing at Joma, used to read Lost Bios. I knew I was a Swansea fan. I've still got the DMs. It's bizarre.
I didn't want to mention it earlier because I didn't want to steal Alex's thunder, but I was a Woolworths model back in the early 90s. So, and somewhere in the ether there is a videotape. Alex, videotapes are what you have before CDs. CDs are what you have before MP3s.
What's an MP3?
Yeah. MP3s is what you had before you streamed things. But yeah, no, was a Woolworths model. Alex, Woolworths was a shop that used to exist.
God, it doesn't exist anymore.
Did they used to make? No, that was Hallmark. No, ignore me.
Yeah. No, Woolworths was a one-stop shop for everything, and
little cans of Coke I always associate.
Yeah, and unlimited free pick and mix if you're quick enough.
Yeah. Anyway, we definitely need to wrap things up.
That was a model for the police in my old job as security guard at the theme park I worked.
See, we're all models.
We're all there.
Thank you, Nick. Most of all, we are role models.
Right, I'm going to try for the thing. Thank you, Nick Bell.
Thank you very much, guys. Enjoyed the game this weekend, and I'll look forward to talking about it again next week.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, Alex Ashmore.
Thank you. See you. Well, I won't see you next week, Matt, because you're not on the pod next week. You're away, or you're going to the El Dente. I don't think we can watch the El Dente game. There's no TV stream of it.
Yeah, I'll do a live. You can come live from La Rosaleda.
But yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Vamos Malaga.
Vamos Malaga, and have fun at the Bernabeu. And thank you, Chris Marquez.
Thank you. Remember, Chuches La Niña in Benumana Pueblo and Vamos Malaga.
Yeah, I think next week next time I do my rap, I've got to start with Fiddy's take you to the candy shop, haven't I? Although I think that's a metaphor. I don't think he did go to a candy shop. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to the GearyCast on Sport Direct Radio. We've been the GearyCast. I've been Matt Harrison, and we'll see you soon. Adios. Vamos, Malaga.